Why are you guys here? The Crystal Reset, yeah. What else? Create consultants, yeah. Reset your business. Get to the start party. Building leaders, earn more money. Building leaders, earn more money. Have a clear path. That's it. We've got any more reasons why you're here? Create more consultants. Create more consultants. To learn from Too hot outside, someone said. Duplicate from online kids. Duplicate, yep. So everyone knows that 4 weeks and 2 days ago I gave birth. So excuse the baby brain. It's still there. It's still fuzzy. So if I slip up some words, excuse me. All right. So let's just go over what the Crystal Reset is. Is anyone in the room not sure even what the Crystal Reset is? Let's be honest. Yeah? Okay. So Crystal, manager, director, and executive, is given to somebody who has created that recognition level within a certain period of time. However, the company, because they're so amazing, have actually reset those time frames. Because who would agree in your first 60 days that sometimes people aren't really willing to share yet, right? And so the company have reset those time frames. So you could be 2, 3, 5 years down the track and still be able to go for these bonuses. And as you can see here, the deadlines and bonuses. So let's just go through them so everyone understands what we're actually aiming for. So Crystal Manager, okay? It's if you have not yet hit this rank or higher before, okay? You'll get a bonus of $250 when you hit it. Now to hit it, you need to hit it by the 14th of March, 2014. And what that means is that you need to personally enroll and develop 2 consultants. So who's gone in for Crystal Manager? Awesome. So Crystal Director, again, if you've not yet hit this rank or higher before, you'll get a bonus of $750 when you hit it. Okay, you've got to hit it by the 13th of May, 2017. And it's when you personally enroll and develop 6 consultants. Okay? Who's going for Crystal Director? A little bit more excitement in the room. Crystal Executive, okay? So let's just say you haven't hit this rank before. You're going to get a bonus of $1,000. And you have to get to executive by the first time, creating 10 personally enrolled consultants, 5 on your left and 5 on your right. Who's going for Crystal Executive? Everyone's hand should be up. But you know what? If you're a current executive, okay, and as of the 9th of January, you are a current executive, you can hit all of these ranks again. Yeah, baby. Yeah. You can get all of these bonuses again. So let's go through the Crystal Executive. You're already an executive. All you have to do, again, is create 10 new personally enrolled consultants. But you know what the most exciting part is? You can stack them all on one side if that's where you need the volume. So it doesn't have to be 5 on the left, and it doesn't have to be 5 on the right. You just need to create, again for yourself, 10 personally enrolled consultants. And you have to do that by the 12th of July. Okay, so does everyone understand what their intention is? And does everyone want to be wearing a crystal title as of the 12th of July? Yes. Yeah. Okay, so what we really need to go over, and where I see a lot of people stumble, and what I'm here to help you do is actually help train you to developing consultants, okay? And I also want to leave you not just with a training piece, because how many people have gone to events and never put anything into action? Yeah, 90% of the room, I guarantee, will put up their hand if they're telling the truth. Okay, so what I want to do is I've actually got printouts for you which are action plans. So you can take it away and implement what I'm actually teaching you tonight. And we're going to all each, by the time we leave tonight, and I'm really hoping we leave around 9 o'clock so I can get home for the first feed. But I want you to actually have something to take away, okay, whatever you're gunning for. So I want to talk about creating consultants. Why do we create consultants? Give you a clue. This is not working. All my stuff's gone off the slides. I'll just restart it. I'm saying it can't be displayed. Oh, it's working a minute ago. So anyway, while I'm trying to get this back up, why do we want to create consultants? Get people paid? Retention?
Eat for free.
Eat for free?
Yes.
So why do we want to create consultants? Sorry, this is frustrating. So why do we want to create consultants? Get your people paid, grow your team, help people, build belief. These are really good answers, but they're not the right ones. Huh? Say it again. Okay, so it's the way up in the ranks, yeah. Still not what I'm looking for. Get people's products paid, yes. I mean, these are all right answers. They're just not the ones that I'm looking for. Why are we here tonight? And why am I teaching creating consultants?
So we can
Build your business.
So you can build your business. Yeah. So, oh, there we go. Okay. So what is this picture? My daughters had a fit when I showed them I was teaching on this. So 2 heads are better than 1? Yeah. So tell me what the vision statement of the company is. Oh, this pen doesn't work. I'm not having much luck. To impact world health and free people, guys. Physical and financial pain, and in the process, create the largest health and wellness company in the world. Jesus, that's a long one. So create the largest health and wellness company in the world. So why would I put this picture up? You can't do it alone. That's right. You absolutely can't do it alone. And I've done the statistics. I've done the maths. And to get to 1 star, I'm gonna show you in numbers the workload, because I think people underestimate the workload and they try and do it all on their own. Okay. So to get to 1 star with an average retention rate, if you're filming, could you please stop? Sorry. So there is the retention rate of our company sits at around 23%, but because to make maths easy, I'm going to say 25%, okay? So to get to 1 star, what does 1 star mean? 10 cycles every week, okay? to get there, I've done the maths with the BB and the average cart. We need around 960 people in our downline to get to 1 star. Can people do 1 star on their own without creating consultants? They absolutely can. But do they stay there? They absolutely don't. Who in this room would be brave enough to say they hit 1 star and they've never been there again? Yeah. And chances are you don't have 960 people in your downline, right? And chances are you don't have 960 friends. I'm sorry, you're popular, but not many of us have 960 friends, right? So what I'm saying is that you can't do this alone, okay? So let's just do the maths again. If you just had 2 people in your team, how many people would you have to enroll, both of you, to hit 1 star and stay there? 480. If you had 10 people in your team, 96 people each. Does that seem like a more achievable goal than enrolling 920? And so if you had 20 people in your team, 48 people enrolled. Do you think that you could find 48 people over the next 5 years to enroll? Yes. And that would be worth $31,000 a year to you, which is 1 star. Yeah? So what I'm saying is creating consultants is the pinnacle of your success. And to get to 1 star and above, you're going to have to learn how to create consultants. So over my time, I have created over 70 consultants in total, but I flick anywhere between 25 and 36 that stay active over 2 business centres. So what does that tell you? Huh?
Never stop.
You can never stop and they fall off. How many times have we made a consultant and 30 days later they're not there anymore? Yeah. And how many people have got to a rank and stopped doing what they did to get to the rank and realize that next month they're not sitting at that rank anymore? Does that make sense? And I see this through my executives all the time. They race and they do launch parties and they're doing 3-way calls and they're enrolling and they're duplicating and they're creating consultants, and then they get there, they get the amazing I'm a Crystal executive, they get the $1,000, they put it in their pocket and then they stop. And then they realize in 3 months' time that they're not at the rank and they're not cycling and their business hasn't gone anywhere because they've stopped doing what made them successful. Does that make sense? Okay, so you can't do this alone. So my next point is you have to reach down. Okay, now we want to create personally enrolled consultants. We absolutely do. But who is reaching further down into their downline? Yeah? And how are we doing that? How are you reaching into your downline? Looking at reports. What sort of report would you look at? New associates joining. But what access do we have for everybody, whether you're an executive, 2-star and above or not? I suppose, but yeah, the blueprint is what I'm looking for. Who opens their business blueprint? Who doesn't know what it is? Okay, so tonight's homework is go home, look in your back office under View My Team, reports for your downline, and there's business blueprint by category. And I want you to have a look at that report. Now, it's a live report, and given that it's the start of the commission week, if you don't have a substantial team yet, that report's going to be pretty empty. But come Sunday afternoon, it's going to give you a pretty good idea of who you want to work with in your downline. It gives you an idea of who's next up for the Enrollers Club promotion. The Enrollers Club promotion, everyone know what that is? 5 enrollments, they get free product, okay? And these people can be 8 levels deep in this report. So you're looking at your PE's PE. When I say PE, I mean personally enrolled, for those people that haven't got the lingo yet. It takes a little while. I'm looking for the 5-cycle bonus people. You know, that's again the live report. Who's sitting on 3 cycles? Who can I help to get to 5 cycles? That may mean I might have to help develop a consultant underneath them. I'm looking at who's the next stage consultants. Who has those pirates? We call them pirates, where they've enrolled one person, maybe their spouse, and then they've got Yeah, they're so annoying, aren't they? I just want to get them over the line. Like, what don't they get? $80 or $320? What don't you understand about this? But, you know, so I'm looking at these things and I'm looking at them 2-3 times a week. That may just be once for you, okay? You might just print it off at the beginning of the commission week and at the end of the commission week. But, you know, also a good idea to print it off Wednesday, Thursday as well. I'm just going to remind you that the air conditioning turns off itself. Can you press override? I think it's turned off. Steamy in here. Okay, so some of your best builders will be deeper than the people that you have enrolled. Okay, so some of my biggest business builders have been deeper and I've had to reach deeper. So I know I've done launch parties for Emma McKeeler. She's not my personally enrolled, she's deeper down into my downline. Okay, so you have to really, that's your job to look at your business as a whole, and every single person that sits in your downline is in your business and they are your business. Okay, don't leave it to somebody. There's ways to reach down, but I know a lot of times people feel like they're stepping on toes. Anyone in your business is your business. Okay? So I hear this a lot. I hear, oh, my team just don't want to do it. No one in my team wants to share. No one wants to have a launch party. No one's doing what I'm doing. Have you heard that before from someone, or perhaps have you heard it come out your own mouth? Yeah? Who's honest tonight?
Yes.
Yeah. And you know what? It really annoys me because you are this person. Okay, you are the missing piece in this person's journey. Who here enrolled their first person without any sort of help? I'm just going to yell. I hate this thing. You can't, can you hear me? Yes. Yeah. Everyone can hear me. I've got a mother's voice. So most of us in the room needed some help to enroll our first people, did we not? Yep. Who's done a launch party in this room? Yeah? And who had help running their first launch party? Keep your hands up. Yeah, everybody. And so what I'm saying is, it's not their job to switch on, it's your job to switch them on. You are that missing piece. And I want to say that if you want to create consultants, it's not their job to create themselves as a consultant, it's your job. I live down the road. So it's all in your languaging. You know, we talk about launch parties, we talk about consultants, we talk about crystal managers, crystal executives. We may even sit there and draw the circles for them. Who's been drawn the circles before, you know? Lynn Hagedorn does it quite well. Paul McAnally drew me the circles 4 years ago. I didn't have a clue what he was talking about. Not a clue until it evolved for me. So what I'm saying is that this is all in your languaging, how you are creating consultants. Who agrees that they talk about you plus two, them plus two? They've changed the languaging now. It's you share, they share, repeat, which is much better. But who's talked to someone on the phone about you plus two, them plus two? And have you had a great response? No, because it sounds weird. It sounds so weird. And so, you know, it's all in your language and it's your job to facilitate it. So I use some words and I'm going to share them with you, and it's what we do next. Okay? And I use this for lots of, it's really not working, that aircon. I'm about to take my clothes off, it's not pretty under here. Even though I've been cleansing. Nah, post body baby, got the kangaroo pouch out. So, what we do next. Why would I use those words? And what? We. It's inclusive. Yeah? Yeah. What? It's a step.
A single step.
A single step.
It's in a language that's easier to understand for the person who's never been in this situation.
Yeah, that's on now. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's easy for the person to understand, but it also relieves a lot of anxiety for that person. Okay? All you've got to do is go and find two people, one on your left, one on your right. You're going to cycle a couple of times. You're going to get $420. And how I think you should do this is do a launch party. They think you want to get on a rocket and launch into the moon. They have no idea what you were talking about. So what can you do to relieve that? And that's this languaging, is what we do next. And I do this with my leaders, these executives that are going to the next phase, and they're ringing for my help. And you can hear them, they're talking about Joe Blogs, they're talking about Mary, they're talking about a launch party, they're talking about Super Saturday. And I say, hang on a second, what do we do next? You know, it's complete overwhelm for people. How fast are your cleansing groups running? How many files are you tagging people in? They don't know when to take their product B or how many flush to take at night. And we're talking to them about U+2 and all these rebates. It's overwhelming for people. They don't want to do it. It doesn't seem like it's worth it. But if you pull it back a little bit and you just use these words, what we do next, it seems like this is the culture. This is just what we do. You've told me to take 2 flush at night. What we do next is we introduce 2 of our friends. Okay, it's as simple as that. So I really urge you to just think about your languaging when you're talking to people and just use these simple words of what we do next. Now, what we do next, and this is what everyone wants. They said, what do you do, Heidi? What do you do with everyone? What I do with Mary is different to what I do with Sue. There isn't a single pathway to creating consultants. It's all about developing a relationship with someone that they feel trust and actually feel empowered by you because you're sitting by them, by their side. And so I use this little diagram. I'll just turn this off so you can see it. And I give you permission to take a photo of this if you want. But the reason I do it in a circle is because this is a cyclic process. And what do I mean by that? A cyclic process. We just keep going around and around and around and around. Now, there's so many people sitting in this room today that haven't hit a crystal rank because they weren't ready at that particular time. And it's just like everybody. It sometimes can take 4 years. I'm just sharing my example. I've got a girl in the front here who took 4 years of following up before she tried the products from me. Okay? And it's taken how long to go Crystal Manager today? So she enrolled in September, so it's taken October, November, December, January. So like 4 months again to be able to start sharing, and she just hit Crystal Manager today. So what I'm saying is that you can never give up on anyone, because when you do, you're giving up on yourself. You're giving up on this dream of this passive residual income. Okay, and it's just a cyclic thing. And what this cyclic thing is just building people's belief. And you'll know this yourself. When people come in, they have different levels of belief. Some people don't want to share. Some people are ready to share straight away, which is great. Okay, so the first thing we do is when we're enrolling someone that we have that rebate conversation. So I don't call it a U+2. I don't call it a commission. I don't actually even mention the word consultant to them. All I'm talking about is having a rebate. And that rebate is their PIBs, and if they hit that consultant rank, then they get an additional $50. So I'm working that out for them. And I'm saying, look, you enroll 2 people on this President's Pack. I could, this week, and we could get $370 rebate back in your pocket. Would you like a rebate on your products? Everyone says yes to a rebate. Not everyone's going to say yes to a business. Okay? So what are you doing to have that conversation? Are people scared of that conversation? Yeah, talk to me. Why are we scared?
We open the door again.
Why are people scared of the rebate? Why are people scared to get people paid? Come on, let's talk these issues out, because you have them, someone else is going to have them. Worried about what people think of them. You know what? My sponsor, who I've met twice, she obviously was worried what I would think about her. But what she didn't know is that I was $17,000 worth of credit card debt up to my eyeballs. I had $500,000 mortgage, had a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, and I was working 56 hours a week, and I could not keep my head above water. I couldn't afford my products. But because she was worried about what I would think of her, she stole $250 from me. Because she didn't allow me to get to Crystal Manager. She jibbed me days before I found out, because she went to a derby in Hawaii, what the hell this business was all about, right? So you are so scared about what people are going to think about you. You're stealing from them. It's not your money. And that's why I call it your obligation to share it. Would you take money out of your friend's wallet? But you are. Where's my wallet? That's a real Louis Vuitton, by the way. I better hide it. There seems to be some thieves in the room. But in all honesty, guys, in all honesty, you wouldn't take money out of someone's wallet. Why are you not having a conversation that doesn't need to be awkward? It's just, would you like a rebate on your product? And I guarantee you 90% of the people that you talk to are going to say yes. They're going to say yes, and then what are you going to say? What we do next, right? Because it's easy. It's seamless. Don't make it icky. You're transferring that energy onto them. Someone had their hand up.
Yeah, look, I think the thing that scares me about having that conversation about rebate is scam and pyramid.
Okay. Can I just give you some coaching?
Yeah.
I think that's in your head.
Yeah.
Okay? It's not a scam and it's not a pyramid scheme, and we should be proud that our company gives the rebate back. And this is the vision statement: to free people from physical and financial pain. Okay? So you have to work on that. That's your belief structure, yeah? So they may say, yeah, I'd like to have a rebate. Okay, so what we do next, and what we do next is different from one person to another. But what I've given you here is some ideas. How about a 3-way call? You know, how about you plug them into the Facebook community group? Okay, these are just some of the things you might do. What we do next. What we do next is different. That's up to you and the way that you're going to help facilitate that person into a consultant rank, okay? But say then they say, no, I'm not ready. I just want to get my own results, right? We hear that 99% of the time, and that's fine too, okay? You don't give up on them. You get them great results. So you plug them into a 3-way orientation call. Before they get their box, they got their box and they're about to start. Who's doing a 3-way orientation call? Not many people. The reason we do a 3-way orientation call, and I get this from my team a lot, is I can unpack a box. You know what? I've unpacked that many bloody boxes. I'm an expert at it. But I still link them up with someone in my team with similar goals and a similar story. They've watched me on Facebook. They know I'm an Isagenix millionaire. It's harder for me to duplicate than the average Joe Blow because where I am seems so unachievable. And they've got a story in their head about me. It's all right for Heidi because she lost 27 kilos. She could share this business. She could be a millionaire, but I could never do that. I've only got 3 to lose. But if I could link them up with someone that perhaps hasn't even lost any weight but is still making money in this business, what is it doing to them? Building their beliefs. I'm just chipping away. And maybe it's up to them again to say, look, has Heidi spoken to you about getting a rebate on your products? At this point, they may be more receptive. And they're like, yeah, she has actually, but I didn't think I could do it till now. It's like, and then I get in and I'm like, great, what we do next, right? Okay, so even if at that point they're still not wanting to get, you know, they're still not wanting to share, we just keep going around, okay? We plug them in the community group. We share their results, okay? Would you mind, day 11 or day 9, whatever, they're changing it all now, whatever date you know, they're getting their great results and they're feeling good. Can I share your results? You know, they may not ready to share it on their personal page, but they may be ready to share it in that closed community group. And I have one girl, Georgie, again, who took 3 years of chipping away to enroll with me, that still hasn't shared, after enrolling 30 odd people, still hasn't shared on her personal page her transformation, which has been amazing. But because she shared it in a safe environment and she got lots of ladies and guys that telling her how amazing her results are, that's built her belief to where it is today. It still needs to go further, and it's still on this wheel, but that's where it is today. And so at that point, can you share your results on your personal page? And they're like, or you might again talk about the rebate. And it's like, what we do next is, can we just share your results? You've had such amazing results. I'd like to get your next package paid for or partly paid for. And they're like, yeah. And it's like, well, okay, what we do next is we just post your results, and then the people you bring to me, like what we do next. So simple, but you have to come up with that action item of what we do next, okay? And so you're having that rebate conversation again. At this point, like Georgie, she might not be ready yet, so you come out of the cycle and you go again, okay? Come out of the circle and you go again. Okay, so then they do a Facebook post, okay? And then you might say, well, what we do next is we come up with a list of 10 people that know, like, trust you, are going to be open to this. And together we contact them, or we invite them to a launch party, or we get them on a Zoom call, or we tag them in your transformation post, or we plug them in the cleanse group, like whatever it is. You might do a few different items like that, okay? You then get third-party validation and calls and threads, okay? So you might put them in that three-way call. You might say, you know what, tell me about this list of 10 people. What does Mary need? What does Sue need? And she might say, that's good, Mary and Sue need weight loss. So what's a good tool that you use that we could send to Mary and Sue about weight loss? And we can do it together, okay, and have them in a three-way call. Okay, and Joe wants energy. So what's a good tool? And you're taking them through. Where do they find the tools? You're not just doing it for them, but you're actually facilitating the process. You might add their prospects to the Facebook group. You might then do a launch party, which is a mini event. And then you may get someone to an event where we know that their belief completely skyrockets. Okay? But doesn't mean that they're going to be your best business builders. It may mean that at the end of the day, after 4 years, they might make consultant, okay? But when they make consultant, we got to keep them consultant. And how do we do that? We repeat the process. We're just doing this with everyone, and we come out of the circle sometimes when their belief isn't ready to keep going, okay? Just take it slow, but never, ever, ever give up on someone, because you're giving up on yourself and you're giving up on your business. How many people in our inactives do you think that we've perhaps given up on? Yeah, heaps. And then how many people have we done these steps with continuously? Okay? So as you go around the circle, you're not only building belief, but you're cementing a meaningful relationship with these people. And that brings us on to the next point here, is that, and I say this all the time, people are going to buy from people that they know, like, and trust. Do you agree? Think about your sponsor. What made them appealing to you? Did you know, like, and trust them? Some of you. Okay. So let's look, and we talk a lot about posture. We talk about, and this is where I think we go back to your point where it's kind of like is it a pyramid scheme? And it's posture, and when I first started, I was getting objection of cost. And then I was getting objection from the business, like a pyramid scheme. But it was because my belief wasn't 10 out of 10. And when we talk about posture, it's when people stop objecting to you. So I never, ever, ever, ever get an objection anymore. I can tell you that 99% of people that I talk to about Isagenix do enroll with me at some point in time, but they never object. They just go in the missing persons the witness protection program for a while until their belief has been built. But I never get the cost anymore. I never get the pyramid scheme anymore. I never get all of those things, just because I have such posture about me and I've been so consistent with building this business, okay? And so let's look at people that you know, like, who are you? What do you do? And should I care? And this is all about belief. And this is where I see so many people posting about their transformation. Okay, and that's great. It's awesome that you've had an amazing transformation. But you know what? People care more about what you do for others. So stop posting all about yourself, and who are you actually helping? Because go back to that story in their head. It's all right for Heidi. She had 27 kilos to lose. She was a big fatty. I've only got 3 kilos to lose. I couldn't do this. I don't need to do this. I could just do Weight Watchers. you know, but if I could showcase someone that has lost those 3 kilos that I've helped and also gained lean muscle and perhaps now got the Crystal Manager bonus, I'm building belief that that person too has a journey in my journey. Does that make sense? Okay. So, you know, do they like you and do they like what you have to say? And this is all about a relationship, okay? This is where you're getting down to their why they need Isagenix, why they need to get a rebate. And going back to Georgie, I knew that this girl lived week to week to week, and I knew she was going to New York City. So the week before she went to New York on a holiday, we got her a whole heap of bonuses, which allowed her to go with $1,500 in her pocket. Okay? So she really liked me, right? Because I was actually doing something for her. I was facilitating. She didn't know that those bonuses were available, but I facilitated the process to get her those bonuses. So do people trust you? You know, are you an expert? If you're not an expert, reach up to the expert. Right? And there's so many times we don't use our upline. And I saw that post on the ANZ group the other day. Did anyone? I laughed. It was like a skeleton. And a skeleton sitting at the desk saying, I'm waiting for the 3-way call, my downline to give me a 3-way. And it's so funny, you know, it's so funny. People are out there trying to do this on their own. And no one can do this on their own. Go back to this. Go back to the numbers. No one can do this on their own, whether it's your downline or your upline, you're all a team and you need to build together. And have other people had success. So again, just showcasing other people's success. And can you help me? I can, because I'm going to have that posture about me and I'm going to be what we do next. I'm going to hold your hand the entire time. And the conversation is what we do next. What do I do next and how do I get started? So again, showing other people's transformations and not just yours. Giving people a reason to follow you. Okay, look at your social media or look what you do on a daily basis in your business and ask yourself, would you follow you? Would you follow you? And I was having a discussion, I had an exec call today and scheduling comes up all the time on my exec calls, you know, oh, I'm just having trouble scheduling. Who's having trouble scheduling? And I just want to ask you, do you have a problem scheduling or do you have a problem sticking to it? Is it a discipline issue, right? And it's the same with your business. Are you consistently showing up every single day? Are you someone that you would follow? Are you someone that you would trust? Are you someone that has that posture that people could come along and trust to take them into that next journey, to take them into that consult? And so it doesn't matter if you're a 1-star, it doesn't matter if you have no stars, it doesn't even matter what rank you are, but you need to find that posture and be able to bring someone forward. So it's not what you say, you know, it's not what you do, it's how much you're actually giving. So how much are you giving in your business? Now, I know that some people work full time, okay? So, you know, I trip all around the world and it's okay for me, right? Because I don't actually have another job. But when I was building this business to 5-star, I did. I had another job. I was working 56 hours a week on average, had a husband that worked 6 to 7 days a week, and I had a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. Okay, and I built it to 5-star. But I went above and beyond. I did it even when I didn't feel like doing it. Who sometimes doesn't feel like doing it? To be honest, I didn't really feel like doing it tonight. I'll be perfectly honest with you, but I do it anyway. And that goes back again to the people that, you know, would you follow you? Would you trust you? Right? So some nights I wouldn't feel like being outside in the cold, leaving my babies, leaving my husband that I haven't seen for weeks on end because we're ships in the night, paying for a babysitter the money that we perhaps didn't have that week and doing those launch parties. But I did it anyway because I needed to be someone that people wanted to follow. I needed to be that person that people trusted that would bring them into that next phase in their journey. And you know what? I hear a lot about, you know, oh, my team's just not doing it. And for a good while after I maxed out, I sat in what they call management mode. Anyone heard that word thrown around, management mode? And I didn't really understand what they were talking about. I was enrolling. I was creating consultants. But I really had stopped inspiring my team. And the reason I stopped inspiring my team is because I expected that they would continue to do what I was doing. And they didn't. And I was sitting at home and I was trying to motivate them by ranting. And I figured out after about 18 months that just bought me a few enemies, right? And I figured out that I was sitting in management mode, even though I was enrolling and even though I was creating consultants, I'd stopped inspiring my team. And the only way you can inspire your team is by doing the actions that make you successful. So I'd stopped doing the launch parties. I mean, I was earning $14,000 a week. I didn't think I had to do it anymore, right? And this is the people that get to executive and then they fall back because you think that things are just going to continue. But once you go to executive, you go to executive again. Who are the executives in the room? We all need to go to Crystal Executive again by the 12th of July. That is a goal, right? But what we do next is that we need to get to Crystal Manager, okay? Because sometimes executive is overwhelming. So what do we do next? So everyone in this room, what we do next is that we're going to go to Crystal Manager again. And what is that? And how are we going to do that? I'm going to show you. So you have to be more committed than anybody else on your team. And hand on heart, who is more committed than anyone else on their team right now? Good. But hand on heart, who could really get up a notch? Yeah, so there's lots of work to be done. And I guess that's why you're all here, and that's amazing. But we need to inspire people. We need to inspire people into that next level. And I see it a lot on social media. I see people come out of the ranks and be really inspiring. And then when they're not where they want to be, you can see their posts get less bold, less bold, less bold, less bold, until they're just sharing a boring shake on the counter with 27 trace minerals and vitamins and pre and probiotics and tastes delicious. Who's going to build a business? That's not going to inspire anyone to build a business. So every now and then you have to put yourself on the line in this business. You have to be prepared for people to talk about you, but give them something to talk about, right? Give them something good to talk about. All those women on Northern Beaches mums, whoever you are, have nothing to say about me anymore. All right? I'm an urban myth at Manly Hospital, apparently. So, I've talked a lot about reaching deep into your downline and pulling your reports and what we do next and facilitating the process. And I've talked a lot about what you should do, okay? But if you're a future leader in this company, and I know my future leaders in my downline, they always reach up, okay? And I hear this a lot from my team. I hear this a lot if I contact someone and they're like, oh, I'm actually not doing that great. And I was like, well, why didn't you get I don't want to bother you. I'm sorry, that's BS. That's BS. If you know a girl in your suburb that within 3 years earned $1 million with this company, you don't think you'd ask for a little bit of help? It's just an excuse that you're using. There is no way that an upline would not help you. It's that you're not asking because perhaps, I'm just putting it out there, perhaps you're a little bit worried about what they're going to say. Yeah? Or what workload they're going to give you. Okay? So I know my future leaders reach up, and I've got one sitting in the front here, Chelsea, to give you a perfect example. Bali, September last year, I had this random Facebook request saying, hey, I'm a girl in your downline, you don't know me, because she hadn't enrolled anyone. She was 3 levels deep. She said, but I've been watching you on social media and I really want to know what this business is all about. She was ballsy enough to bypass 2 people and reach up for her upline. And within an hour, we were Skyping. Actually, she ignored my Skype because she was too nervous to answer it. But she answered it after that. Okay. And she's gone to Crystal Director. Okay. So we're on to executive next. So don't think that, and that's how I know people are serious, because they're actually reaching up. And it's not that they're reaching up, it's that they actually do what you tell them to do. And there's so many people, and I put a post on the ANZ group the other day that get very distracted. They get very distracted by the UK. They get very distracted by external courses. But yet they're not doing the stuff that their upline did that made them successful. You know, and I don't mean that everyone has to do launch parties like I did, but there were other things that people do in different uplines to create their success. And they're not doing that main thing. And I think it's because they're not getting the results, because they're not doing the daily consistent action. So they feel that they need to feel like they're working, right? So they try another avenue. But these people in external courses, they don't build Isagenix businesses. So really be careful if you haven't had the core events, and we're going to talk about the events. Really be careful about what you're investing your money into. I had some girls the other day that went to the Kerwin Ray seminar. These girls are yet to hit manager, but yet at the end of it, because he's really good at what he does, they were going to get credit cards and a $5,000 loan to do his course. Okay? But yeah, they haven't done UAA. They can't afford Celebration. And, you know, they haven't done ISA Uni either. So it's like, okay, and I go back to that diagram, because I'm taking responsibility here. Where do I need to take them back to on this cycle to build their belief in this business? So this business and our events, and I'll just get you to pass these out, our events is all that you need to really get your business off on a good start. So with that $5,000, and I think it's a really valid point that they're investing in their business. Okay? I think everyone needs to invest in their business, but $5,000, what could that do in your business? It could get 5 people to Celebration. Just get you to be quiet, because I'm talking. That $5,000, if you go into your back office, go and get a credit card. If you're serious about this business, go and get a credit card, and for the next 12 months, purchase 5 tickets to each event and have yourself and 4 teammates there. Okay, that probably will equal your $5,000 if you're serious about this business, because I guarantee you in 6 months, you're not going to want to do this business. You know why? Because you're going to have people say stuff about you. You're not going to be where you want to be. You're not going to be earning 1 star yet, the majority of you. You're going to see people overtake you, which is going to kill your confidence. And you're not going to want to go to that event at the end of the year. But once you give up on yourself, you've given up on everyone. And what is that showing you? What is that showing your team? That you're not as committed as what you said you were tonight. That's all it's showing them. So if you want to earn $1 million, you need to make sure that you're really serious about this business. So before we get on to the action planning, this is my last slide, is what expectations do you have of your team? And do you have the same expectations for yourself? Are you expecting your team to create consultants and you're not creating them yourself? Do you not have those same expectations? Because I tell you, I stress when I do not get double PIBs, and I stress when I don't create 2 consultants a month. That's my formula, always has been. Enroll 2 a week, enroll 2 and develop 2 consultants a month. That is my formula that I've used throughout my whole entire journey. That's my expectations I have of my team, and that's the same expectations I have of myself. So who believes that perhaps their expectations for their team aren't the same as the expectations they have for themselves? Thank you, Rob. You're the only honest person in the room. So you're telling me that your expectations are higher of yourself than your team? That's good.
Yeah.
That's good, because you're going to inspire them. But if you're not inspiring your team at the moment, if you're not creating consultants, perhaps, yes, it's in your languaging, but perhaps it's because you're actually not inspiring them with your action. So have a look at your expectations and pull them in. Just remember that you are the facilitator. So if you're not creating consultants, it's not an issue with them. It's an issue with you. Take that responsibility on that you have to facilitate creating consultants. Now, as people move through the journey to manager, to director, and they've got the knack of creating consultants, you can back off that responsibility a little bit. I'm not saying that it's your responsibility to create leaders. I don't think that it is, but I think it's your responsibility to facilitate the consultants. And so reach up and reach down. Okay, so if you're someone that's wanting to go further, reach up for your upline. They will always help you or put you in contact with that next step. Doesn't mean you have to have an hour with your upline, you know, a phone consultation. It may mean that they put you in contact with someone that's a similar level, you know, matches you up. Make sure that you're reaching down. Anyone in your downline is your business, okay? Don't worry about personalities that may get in the way. Never give up on anyone. And when you never give up on anyone and you're reaching up and you're reaching down and you're inspiring with your action and you're creating consultants and you're creating momentum, that's the action that's going to duplicate in your team. And that's when you're going to create the 70 plus consultants. That's when you're going to create, you know, leaders to want to follow you because they're going to trust you and trust your journey. So are there any questions about creating consultants before we move on to the action plan?
I mean, when you reach down,
Yeah.
and you're bypassing some really stubborn people in your team that their people are their people, how do you approach, you know?
Everyone is different.
Yep.
Okay, so everyone is different. I would just, sometimes you have to back off.
Yep.
Okay, and I say this, people aren't ready to, sometimes people aren't ready to learn the lesson. Okay, so I'll give you a perfect example. All I know is how to relate my journey. Okay, so I was sending welcome texts to every single person that joined my downline. That really peeved some people off in between. Okay, and I got some good positive feedback, but I also got some quite not nasty, stay awake all night, rocking forth. Yeah. And in the end, I thought it's not really worth the fight because yes, my business, I knew that there was an issue with retention. I thought I could help. I was helping because I was catching people that weren't plugged in and things like that. But in the end, I thought, you know what? I don't think these particular people were ready to hear it. Okay. And it wasn't until that they've gone through the next 12 months of their journey and they've realized the lesson that they were ready to learn the lesson. So you never know what you don't know. So it depends on the person. Sometimes it's just an open conversation, just saying, look, this is a new process I'm going to start. Does anyone have any objections to it? Why? Can we problem solve? So being open and transparent with your what you intend to do. And if anyone is like majorly resistant, then I just back off. And unfortunately, there's some roadkill along the way, but these people aren't ready to hear the lesson yet. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, just before I hand these out, what did you learn? Has anyone picked up something that is going to make a difference in their business? Yeah? What we do next? Yeah.
So your actions lead by example.
Lead by example, inspire, yeah.
People care about what you're doing for others.
People care about what you do for others.
Keep circling back with them, even if they say no, they don't want to share or whatever. Just
Keep cycling back. Yeah. And you know what? It's an interesting thing, Kelly. It's not just creating consultants do you cycle back, but the same with your follow-ups. You know, and I've enrolled, I think, 13 people this quarter, and I'd say 4 of them were enrolled 4 years ago with someone that's no longer doing the business anymore. Okay. Now, those people that are no longer doing the business before would have had those people re-enroll in their business again if they just stayed consistent. And that's what I'm talking about, is staying consistent with your daily action. Same with creating consultants, staying present, staying with that posture, staying with that confidence, even in those days where you do want to sit in a dark room and rock back and forth. There's still days now where I have those days, but no one would know it because I need my team to know that I've got that fortress around it, you know. What else did we learn? Yeah.
If you don't have the rebate conversation, you're effectively stealing money
Yeah, if you don't have the rebate conversation, you're effectively stealing from them. Yeah. If you give up on your people, you're giving up on yourself. Give them something to talk about.
I'm the facilitator.
You're the facilitator? Yeah.
The consultant.
To create the consultants. Your job, your role, your responsibility. Yeah.
Everyone wants a rebate, but no one wants a business.
Everyone wants a rebate, but not everyone wants a business.
You're the missing puzzle.
You're the missing puzzle. God, I've landed some bombs tonight. Yeah, Leanne? She knew all these things. She just got to do them. Got to have the discipline to do them. Yeah. Pay more attention to your business blueprint. Yeah. Okay, so we come to events and we get so fired up, and this is like a little mini event, mini training. Who wrote lots of notes? Yeah. Who never looks at them again? Let's be honest. I'm a bit of a scribbler too, and I never really look at them again. But what I want you to do is actually, as I said at the beginning, I want you to implement at least one thing that you learnt tonight. Okay. So what I've done today is I knocked up some plans for you guys to do. I should have been a teacher. Just take one and pass it on. I should have it done. Okay, hands up. So the first page is just some things that when times get tough, I just want you to reread them, okay, and know that it's normal, okay? So to enroll one person, you need to have 10 conversations, and I wrote in brackets about isogenics, not about the weather, all right? So to enroll, so 10% of people that you talk to will enroll generally. So, you know, in basic terms, 1 out of 10 will say yes to isogenics, okay? 20% of enrollments will become consultants, generally speaking, okay? Generally speaking. 5% of your team, though, will account for 90% of your income. Okay, 5% of your team will account for 90% of your income. 80% of sales happen after the 8th follow-up. And consultants don't stay consultants. You need to keep creating them. So I want you to read that to yourself when you're getting a few no's, when you're not, you're not where you want to be, where your consultants drop off. You got to realize that this is normal. Okay, this happens to Heidi as well. All right, we're just continuing to create consultants. So every day, and what I've done is we've got goals, okay, so we'll go over to them, but every day I need you to be consistent with your action. Okay, and this is where discipline comes in. And I can't make you do it. Not at any event, turning up to any training, getting on any team call. All the motivation in the world cannot make you do it. The only thing that can make you do it is you. Okay? So, you know, headquarters is here doing training and op meeting every fortnight on a Tuesday. The 1st and the 3rd Tuesday of every month. Is it the 2nd and the 3rd then? It's on Valentine's Day anyway. Like you've got nothing better to do, right?
Commitment.
Yeah. So look out for it on the ANZ page. Follow Paul McAnally. He always posts it on there. You know? So why would you think that turning up to headquarters would be important? In all the stuff that we've said tonight, why is turning up so important? Yeah, builds belief, validation coming from someone else. What else? I'm talking more about
You can't expect your team to do it if you're not going to do
you
it.
can't expect your team to do it if you're doing it. It's also posture. Okay, so if I'm sitting on the lounge, I'm not in Isogenics. I swear I just heard the baby monitor. That's really
There was a change.
So, you know, if I'm sitting at home, I'm not enrolled in Isogenics, but I'm not feeling great about myself. A bill might have rolled in that I couldn't pay. And yet I see this girl that I know that is in a room on a Tuesday night, hanging around people that seem to be positive and she's earning extra income. Would my ears not prick up? Would that not cause some belief? It's all about that posture. You don't have to be earning millions of dollars just cycling once a week. Who cycles once a week? You know, that's massive. That's massive. People would kill for that residual income. So Facebook, you need to post every day on Facebook, every single day, and not just about you or your shake. It's boring. Okay? Mix it up. You know, sometimes with your shake, sometimes with your transformation. But what's more powerful is posting other people's transformations. Not just physical, but financial transformations as well. Be at every local Super Saturday. No matter what you've got on, same thing. A room full of positive people. They're like, look, you know, that girl on the lounge, she's looking and she's like, hey, they don't look like a weird bunch of people. They look kind of fun to hang out with. You're out for drinks afterwards. It's all about energy, transpiring energy. Mix it up, you know, post Facebook, post stuff that's fun. You know, a lot of people have really boring jobs. They want to have some fun, okay? And I'm like the fun police, but I can still have fun sometimes. Making babies. Plug into team calls, you know, and post that stuff as well. Every time you're doing something with Isogenics, post it because it's inspiring someone else to follow you. They love to see consistency. They love to see consistency. Posting. Reach out for your upline, okay? So someone that is in your upline that is successful, that's done it before you, make sure you're reaching out and getting guidance from them. A minimum, and I say a minimum, depending on where your goals are sitting at, three-way calls a week. And that's with your new contacts. So not the ones you're doing for other people. That's your new contacts. 3 people on a 3-way call. One minimum, attend, invite, or host a launch party or a Zoom once a week. Okay, so attend, host a launch party or a Zoom once a week. Be contributing to your cleanse group and Facebook and business Facebook group. Why do I want you to do that? How many people just sit stagnant in those groups? Let's be honest. Why? Because someone else will do it. So what's that telling your team? Someone else will do it. And if someone else does it, trust me, they're the ones that are going to be building the business, not you. You have to be the leader. You have to stand up. A leader isn't, as I said, doesn't matter what income you are, doesn't matter what rank you are. You just have to be that leader, that person that they inspire to. Have all your tickets bought for the events a year in advance. So I've given you the events calendar. They're all in your back office. So all the Sydney ones are spread out throughout the year. You know, if you've got people in other states, purchasing them tickets to get them to the events. I mean, looking at the investment, are you treating this business like a business or a hobby? Okay, now if you're going to open a coffee shop, you're going to be spending rent every week. You're going to have employees' wages every week. Isogenics business, all you do is eating your products, 100 BV worth. So where are you treating it like a business? Are you investing in your business? Complete the checklist for new cleansers, the new associate checklist. Every single person needs a checklist. Every single person needs a checklist. Follow the same system as your upline. So I'm not going to come in here and teach you a new system because you've all got different uplines and you all do things differently. But what made them successful, you should follow, right? It makes sense to follow, not reinvent the wheel. Don't get distracted. This is a really simple business. Okay, so don't be distracted by the UK just yet. Okay, don't be distracted by external courses just yet. Do those core events over and over again until you're succeeding in your Isogenics business. Be patient. Okay, be patient over the next 5 years. Who's been in this business under a year? Yeah, under 2, under 3, under 4, under 5. Yeah. So, I don't know what my point was. Be patient, okay? Be patient. So, under 5 years and Helen's maxed out, okay? So they're your 5 percenters, right? Those people that you're looking for, there's those 5 percenters. And I know a lot of people that put their hand up with the 5-year period are earning those 6 figures, okay? Because they've been patient. Be inspiring. Don't be a dictator. Learn from me. Don't do it. It doesn't work. But inspire people with your action and your results. Be someone that you want to follow. And offer a 5-star service. So if you want to retain these people, you also need to duplicate the same. Okay, so they're just some quick tips that you need to read over daily, all the time. That's your consistent daily action. But let's go to Crystal Manager, okay? And I hear this a lot. The people are like, yes, I'm going to be Crystal Executive. I'm going to be 5-star. I'm going to be a millionaire. But they actually forget that's their intention. Where are their goals and their action that match that? So what I've done is I've actually set it out for you just for your first step. Because there are people that want to go to Crystal Director and there are people that are happy at Crystal Manager. Okay, just getting that $250 bonus. So as you grow and you figure out what works for you and your business, your goals, your action items will be different. So let's just have an example here of Crystal Manager. So my intention is by the 14th of March or sooner, I'm going to be a Crystal Manager. So my goals are that I need to have 2 personally enrolled consultants. So therefore I need to enroll 10 people because 20% of people will become consultants. And I need to do that before the 14th of March. So my action item is that I need to have 20 conversations. Okay, if you go back to all those stats, I've done the work for you there. So you need to, by the 14th of March, have 20 conversations about Isogenics. So week 1, which I've given you all a little breathing space, and we start next week on the 13th of Feb, on the beginning of the commission week. Your goal, again, so it's like always like, what do we do next? Don't get overwhelmed with, oh my God, I've got to have 20 conversations and I've got to enroll 20 people, and don't get overwhelmed with that. It's like, okay, well, I've got till the 14th of March, so what do I do daily consistent action every week to create that? So week 1, all you're going to do is you're going to enroll 3 people. That's your goal. If you create a consultant along the way, happy days. But all you need to do is concentrate on enrolling 3 people. How is that done? Okay, so then where is your action item? Your action items may be different, but this is the workload that is required to enroll. Yeah.
Is that 20 conversations or should that be 100 conversations?
100 conversations. My maths isn't good. I told you, my baby brain.
That's 100.
But I just want you to have 20 conversations because I know those numbers. You know what? I know those numbers. As you get better at talking to people, they improve. Okay. I just want you to know that if you're getting a few no's along the way, that could be a normal pattern as well. So really, just cut it back and just have 20 conversations. Okay. So all I want you to do is enroll 3 people next week. Okay. So how do you do that? So that's all you're going to do is enroll 3 people. Okay. How does that happen? Okay, so you need to fill the funnel. What I mean by that is add to your list, add to your prospects list, add 10 new contacts next week. So where do you find people? I mean, go back to your isogenicsbusiness.com if you're not sure where to find people, but there's a lot of people out that door. Okay, there's a lot of people on Facebook groups. You know, at the moment I'm not getting out very much because I have this newborn, and when I'm out, I'm feeding and I'm not talking, but I'm meeting people on a Facebook group where we have the commonality of that we've all got January babies. Okay, so I'm meeting people there. So where can you meet people? Like how I meet people now is very different how I met people 4 years ago. So clever about it, or reinvent yourself sometimes and put yourself out there to make those new connections. So I'm not in that group posting all about Isogenics. I'm helping them with their babies. I'm telling them what to put on their cracked nipples. I'm creating relationships with those people. They then friend request me, and what do they see on my Facebook page? Daily consistent action, someone they want to follow, someone that they trust. Plug 10 people into your cleansing support group. Okay, send 10 people a tool. Get 10 three-way phone calls or Facebook message with a team member. Coach all, not just your favorite ones, the cleansers via your checklist. Send all your inactives and actives an email about the promotions. What's the current promotion at the moment? 3 for free. It's a mouthful, isn't it? 3 for free. And so, are you actually telling all your people that they can get their products shipped for free? Send your inactives. What I did this week is just looked at all my inactives and I sent them the salted caramel Isodelights. But I touched base with an email beforehand saying, hey, how you doing? There's a new Isodelight out. I thought I'd send it to you. What's your address? So I'm actually touching base and recreating that relationship again. Yeah.
Just explain how you do this. The fastest way of getting that emails or your inactive. Now that the back office has changed.
I keep a track of all of that.
Do you?
So yeah.
Spreadsheet?
No, not a spreadsheet. All my new associate checklists have phone numbers and addresses and emails on there.
So when you look through your back office and you see who's inactive,
So I look at,
through page after page after page after page, literally.
yeah, there's no easy way.
If you were to personally enroll all in the reports, you can actually see a long list and copy and paste emails from that, and it's not like
Oh,
There you go.
and it has bonuses.
So if you go to your personally enrolled in your downline reports, personally enrolled all, there's emails in there.
and you can buy and click on it and actually print that as a
So send an invitation to 20, and when I say invitation, personalized. Don't just stick up on your wall that you're having a launch party, because people honestly think that you're flying to the moon. Okay, what do you want to call it? Lots of people are calling it Healthy Happy Hour, which I love. I think it's got a great, or a tasting party, but make your invitations personalized and send them to at least 20 people, and have that launch party next week. So I want you this week, next week to plan for your launch party the following week. Get your current cleansers to share their results on their Facebook page and aim for three-way calls with your downline. Okay, so you're doing 10 three-ways with your upline, with your prospects, but you're also reaching down and getting them to at least find 3 people to do a 3-way with you. And attempt to take 2 people to celebration with you. So that invitation to celebration and what they're going to get out of it. Okay, the next week, I want you to enroll 2 people but create a consultant. Okay, so we're pretty much doing exactly the same action, except you're completing that launch party. And so how I duplicated so quickly is I got those people, those current cleansers, to bring their people to my launch party. So I created consultants on the night. There were some nights that I would create 5 consultants on the night. Okay, because as we said, they drop off. So those 5, I might only have 2 next month. But if you can creating 5 and 5 and 5 and 5, you can see how you can get to executive quite quickly. And that's the trick. How many people have got to director and then gone back to like 1 or 2 consultants? They're that close to executive, but they've taken their foot off the pedal a little bit. You need to keep going, and you need to keep that momentum going. So these are your goals and these are your action items to get to Crystal Manager. So can you see the workload that's involved with getting to a manager? Yeah? But once you do this week after week after week after week, you actually don't need a checklist anymore. It just becomes part of your work. Yeah? And so your next one, I've left blank for you. So your intention by the 13th of May is to be a Crystal Director. That's always your intention. So your goals are to create 4 more personally enrolled consultants. So you need to have 6 in total. So if that number has dropped, so if you're not currently sitting at Crystal Manager, you've dropped back to 1 consultant, you may have to add to that. Okay, so your goal is going to be different from the next person. So you need to enroll another 40 people and you need to create another 4 consultants. So what does that look like? And these are where, you know, I don't know what your goals are going to be. Okay, I don't know. You might have predominantly all your team in Queensland and you can't be doing a launch party for them. So you're doing Zoom launches for them. Okay, I don't know what those goals are going to be. But what I'd love you to do now is just for the week of the 13th of March, I want you to write yourself a goal. Okay, so you're currently Crystal Manager and you're gunning for Crystal Director. I want you to write yourself a goal for that week. And I want you to write action items that are going to help you hit that goal. Does that make sense? So I just want you to do that quickly for me.
Yeah. Thanks, girls. Okay, let's turn it in. So I actually don't know if you're working or talking. So what's somebody's goal for that week? Yep. Okay, that's an action item. What's a goal that you have for that week? Yeah. Enroll 3 people and create 1 consultant. And can you give me 3 action items that you've got written down that would do that? Hold a launch party. 3 times 3-way calls. 3 times 3-way Facebook messages. Yeah. Okay, that's good. So you've got action items to suit your goal. Yeah. Who else has a goal that week? Yeah, Leanne? Oh, that's a big week. Enroll 4 people and create 1 consultant. And what are some of your action items to make that happen?
I'm going to send all my info on the new product.
Okay, so she's thinking ahead because it's celebration, right? So weeks following celebration. So she's going to send her inactives and actives, all the new products that are going to be released. Awesome. Yeah.
Follow up on last week's people
Follow up on last week's people and do a launch party with one of your new cleansers. Yeah. And you know what? I want you to take that further, okay? And I train a lot about launch parties because I find that the easiest and quickest way to build a business. But when you're not only, you got to facilitate that consultant piece, but when you're organizing a launch party to have it, somebody, don't just send them away to do it. Do it with them. Okay, so those 20 invites that they got to send out, do it with them. Tell them what to write, how to create interest, okay? So take it that one step further when you're setting those goals. So I need to have a launch party. What does that look like for Mary Sue? You know? So great goals. Anyone else got a goal for that week? Goalless. Yeah. Yeah.
Take one of my sort of consultants to manager.
You're going to take a... Yeah, I think that's good. Like, I think you need to do that. But your goal, your intention is to get to Crystal Director, and a manager is not going to help you do that. You need to create consultants. That's what we're kind of talking about. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I think it's still good, and I think you still have to do it. But your intention is Crystal Director, so a manager is not going to help you at that stage. If your intention was to get to 1 star, then a manager would help you. Any BP is going to help you. So just think about where is your intention, and your goal and action items have to match that. So when you're setting your goals, when would you set them? What day of the week?
Sunday.
Sunday. Why? Yeah, beginning of the commission week. And what else do you think is going to help you set those goals that we've spoken about tonight?
Share them with someone in the team.
Yeah, so grabbing an accountability partner is awesome. But what I was thinking about was the business blueprint. Okay, so having that business blueprint will actually give you more direction as to how you're going to create that consultant. You may have those pirates, okay? You may have someone in that next enrollers club. You might have someone that's sort of sitting on 4 cycles. How are you going to tip them over to 5 cycles? So all of those types of things. And Dave brought up a really good point, and I think whilst you're in this room and you all have the same intention, which is to hit these crystal ranks, it would be a great opportunity for you to meet someone that would keep you accountable. So we talk about accountability partners, and I've had a couple of accountability questions just last week. And, you know, I think the biggest mistake people make when they become accountability partners is they become best friends. What do you think would run into issues with that? Distractions, so they get on the phone and they talk other stuff like relationships and husbands and and kids, and but why else? Who likes to tell off their best friend? Yeah. So when you're finding an accountability partner, I think it's really important that you develop a relationship, but the calls that you set for your accountability calls, so those half an hours, they need to be, what were your goals? What goals did you hit? Why didn't you hit them? And where are your goals next week? Okay? And that accountability person, or vice versa, needs to be able to be in that safe environment where they can pull you up on things and say, hey, why didn't you do it? Was it an issue with scheduling, or was it an issue with discipline? Right? And good to get an accountability with a person that's opposite to you. Yeah.
You've got 2, yellows that have fun.
If you've got 2 yellows, nothing happens, she says. Yeah. Gossip, chit chat, let's get drunk.
I didn't say drunk. I said fun.
So I think that you can take that sheet now, and I think with the first 4 or 5 weeks, have we got 4 weeks or 5 weeks to create manager? We've got 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 weeks. 4 weeks to get to Crystal Manager, and everyone in the room can do that, whether you're executive or not. We can all get that $250 bonus, but I will also be looking at people in my downline that I can take with me. So who in your downline isn't sitting here tonight that you can take with you? That you can facilitate that process, creating consultants for yourself and for them. Because that's how your team grows. And when you can show people, oh my God, I'm creating managers, I'm creating consultants, I've helped Mary Jo create a consultant, the urgency is going to be there. You're inspiring people with your action, your daily action. So I think, we've got 4 weeks to do that. I think if you're doing it consistently, the stuff on the front page and those goals, you might want to add or subtract the action items there. But if you're doing it consistently for the next 4 weeks, what happens after a 30-day system?
Another one.
Another one, but you've created habits, right? In your first week, you're still kind of figuring out when do I take the flush and all of that sort of stuff. Where does a cleanse day sit in? But after 30 days, after you've repeated that process for the 4th week, you're starting to see some habits creep into your lifestyle. And that's the same with anything, the same with this business. So I really urge you to take those actions and set that goal for yourself. And you don't want to be sitting here in the next crystal reset. And there will be another one. And there will be another one. There's been about 4 in my history here in 4 years. There will be another one. But do you really want to be sitting here again, gunning for the same goals? Or do you want to just have them happen in your life consistently and have your team here? All right? So just think about that. Are there any questions before we... Is anyone feeling clearer about the goals, like the workload that's involved as well? I know we all set goals for ourselves. So I think we set intentions. We don't set the goals and we don't set the action items. Yeah? So tell me, what's going to change in your business? Like moving forward, what is honestly going, like you're making a declaration to all of us in the room here tonight. What is going to change in your business after tonight?
Posture.
Posture.
Three-way calls.
Action. 3-way calls. Discipline. The number of conversations. Doing the do even when you don't feel like it. Yeah. Getting creative on how you meet people. Consistency. Reach down. Can you all do me a favor and post something really exciting on social media? Makes me want to follow you. Not a shake. The shakes are killing me. Huh?
Oh, that's one.
Oh, you can take a photo. I'm not good at selfies, sorry.
Okay, do you guys mind? I will get one and then I'll share it on one of the pages.
The ANZ.
Yeah.
Selfie.
Okay, U +2, repeat.
Just do a cat. And then it's ANZ group. Is everyone in the ANZ group?
That'll go. Just matter.
Come see Shelley. Or Carly. Ready? Anyone not want to be in class?
U +2. Come on.
You share that shit?
We're done.
So it'd be really good if on the ANZ group as well, every time you create a consultant, that you share that as well. And you're sharing on your personal page. And you're inspiring people to want to come with you. And you're telling them what an easy business this is. This business isn't hard. Okay, working until you're 75 and realizing that you can't retire is going to be hard. Okay, it's going to be comfortable until you're 75 when you're broken. But what is uncomfortable now just means that you're growing. Okay, so every day, just get uncomfortable. Some of those posts that I post are kind of uncomfortable sometimes because I've got new friends all the time on my Facebook and I'm still wondering what the hell they're going to think about me. You never stop worrying about what people think about you. But you've got to have the belief in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you, right? Totally. Anyway, any other questions before we finish up? I know it's so hot in this room. I'm going to put my foot down about upgrading this air conditioning. Is there anything else you want to... Can I just ask a favour before you go? The back 6 rows, those chairs were stacked at the side of the room for the photography. Do you mind just helping me restack them, because my uterus might fall out? Pelvic floor still haven't returned. I'm just joking. Look, I can step. Oh yeah, one more thing. Okay, the slide's gone. Okay, so Super Saturday. Okay, Super Saturday was sold out last time, right? Who missed out on their ticket? Yeah, don't miss out this time. Let's write the link down. Now, if you want to invest in your business, it's a $30. It's a $30 investment. Shush! Victoria's going to write it down. Now, what we're trying to train Sydney on is being early is on time. Okay, so we have another special gift, which will be the social media guides. Okay, wow. They're worth over $30, and your ticket is $30 to Super Saturday, so it's basically a free ticket that you are getting. We're going to be at Chatswood this time at the concourse. We only have 400 tickets, and we've sold over 70% of them already, and we're still 2 months out from the event. Okay, so I really urge you to get on now and buy U plus 2, okay, because you're going to create those consultants. And we have enough social media guides for the first 200 people that turn up and register to the event. Okay, so not that support their ticket, the first 200 people that are early, bums on seats, so we can start at 1 p.m. Registration opens at 12:30. The first 200 people are going to get a social media guide. 1st of April, we're going to have some interstate people training on social media, Luke and Robbie Pollock. So Luke and Robbie Pollock are a 5-star in the company. They're currently on ISA Derby in Borneo. So they're people that you're going to want to hear from. And if you want your team to improve on their social media, I really urge that you get them there. We're going to have a panel of people talking about connecting. We're going to have a product piece with specially talking about how personal trainers talk to their people about the AMP range. We're going to have a recognition panel again. So it's going to be a really jam-packed 4 hours. It's going to be really exciting. Tickets are going to sell. We cannot increase the venue size any further because of fire hazard. So if you want your ticket, I really suggest you give up something to get your $30 worth, knowing that you're going to get a social media guide if you turn up on time as well. Yeah, there's one question up there. We just wait for we were really waiting for the events. So we have got a date earmarked, but it depends on venues as well. So we get it out as soon as we can. Okay, no. Yeah, we're going to have 4 a year, basically. Yeah.
You don't take prospects.
No, these are not prospect meetings. They're associates only. So you need to be an associate. You need to have a paid ticket. There are no guest tickets. We have our op meetings here pretty much every fortnight, so you can tap people into that. Yeah. So what I would really appreciate is those back rows, if you can stack at the side of the room, and that if everyone can leave quite quickly and swiftly, because I'm so tired.